From hidden damage buffs to weird shader interactions, here are 14 things in Destiny 2 that you might not know. Hunter's Whirlwind Guard is almost invincible. Almost. Despite it being able to do amazing stuff like reflect a Winter's Wrath, Nova Bomb, and many other supers, it's weak to 3 weapons. Even though trace rifles do nothing against it, for some reason Devil's Ruin has no problem piercing right through the Whirlwind Guard and obliterating the Hunter on the other side. Taking this a step further, the Hunter is even more obliterated by the Chaos Reach, and it's an amazing counter to the super, just like the Devil's Ruin. The last counter to the super is, well, the counter to every super, and that's the Tractor Cannon. But because you have to get so close, I would rather swap to the Devil's Ruin when the supers start to come up, rather than this close range thing. In the most recent patch, Falcon's Harbor got a rework where instead of causing a damage bonus when you come out of invis, it gives you volatile rounds, and it's fantastic at chaining invisibility with stylish execution. But there's a problem. Being invisible in the latest patch also removes the farthest outer reaches of your radar. What you might not know is that despite it seeming like you just lose a bit of range with your radar when you're invisible, you are actually losing that part of your radar altogether, which means that you can't try to get it back in any way, shape, or form, including this radar booster mod. Just don't try it, because it doesn't work. Every Titan main will tell you this, but if you're new to the way of punch first, ask questions later, then you might not know that you can get a free boost to your Thundercrash's speed just by using your Ballistic Slam before activating it. It's not a small bump either. This has some serious firepower now. You might not know that Kill Clip and Volt Shot are lying to you. If you proc Kill Clip just like Volt Shot, then swap weapons, it looks like the bonus goes away if you look at the side of your screen. But the truth is that the perk is still active even though those buff icons go away, just as you can see right here. The Manticore didn't make as great of an impact as we had hoped, but there are still some secrets about this weapon still yet to uncover. For example, did you know the Manticore will charge its perk when damaging world objects such as Stasis crystals, barricades, and even grenades in some melees? This probably won't save the weapon from a lifetime imprisonment in your vault, but it's at least interesting. While we're on the subject of the Manticore, you might know that it overrides the wings of Sacred Dawn's in-air float. But you might not know that this also applies to any super with a Warlock-like float. Notably, Chaos Reach, which just takes you right out of the sky. Winter's Wrath, same deal. And yes, even the most airborne super in the game, Dawnblade, you just kind of sink like a rock. Definitely a bit odd, as this gives us an insight as to how Bungie codes the float mechanic. It's a modifier, it's a buff, rather than it being unique to each super. Certain shaders will interact or even enable a glowing effect on your armor. You probably knew this, but did you know that the Chitin Slate will outright disable the glowing effect on armors? I'm curious if there's any other shaders that have a unique glow property like the one seen here, so please let me know in the comments. I'm genuinely curious. Here's a quick one for new players. Did you know that the best way to avoid fall damage is to do a sword swipe right before hitting the ground? Once you get the timing down, it is very easy. And don't worry, this will work even if you don't have ammo. Did you know that Gathering Storm has a limit to how far it can travel? Even though this will likely never happen in any real encounter, your Gathering Storm super will only travel a certain distance and then just vanish from this plane of existence.
So, It died.
Speaking of Gathering Storm, did you know about this neat trick that you can have a mobile super? Simply just have your friend stick a Gathering Storm pole into your Sparrow and you can drive that into the heat of combat, Battlefield 4 C4 on ATV style. Stasis Glacier Grenades bounce you into the air. This is great for a quick bit of movement, but it's a shame because you can't use the crystals as a pop-up shield to kind of protect you and encase you. Or can you? What you might not know is that on hunters, using the Touch of Winter aspect and the Renewal Grasp, the stasis crystal that forms from the Duskfield doesn't actually pop you up into the air like the Glacier Grenades, making it a great and viable strategy to just use it like a sort of cocoon, just like we talked about in this video here. It's a great way to just kind of deter targets from continuing to shoot at you. This trick has been around since the beta, yet I never see people use it or talking about it. Canceling your melee animation with a barricade or a rift mid-fight is a surefire way to win the battle on an unsuspecting opponent. It's worth keeping in mind that this won't work on melees with any type of bonus damage, but this can be extremely clutch if you absolutely need to win a melee fight and aren't afraid of dropping a few extra resources on it. Ballistic Slam is not a shoulder charge, you would think. But did you know that using the MK44 Stanticides, which is supposed to only give you your melee back on shoulder charge hits, actually works with Ballistic Slam? It's not bad considering you also get an overshield while sprinting around with this as well. Definitely worth keeping in mind if you're looking for a ballistic spam build. Let's be honest, there was a huge list of patch notes that came through a few patches ago, but one of the things that seemed to slip our perception, if you could say, was that Genesis now works in PvP. You might not know that this perk on certain weapons is absolutely S tier, especially on things like Waveframe grenade launchers, because it's just like having infinite amount of ammo, assuming you've got the reserves for it. Before you click away, no, this is not an ad. This is just a really quick update. I felt like it probably shouldn't be its own video because of how small it is, but I just wanted to give you guys a quick 411. You guys did absolutely amazing work in supporting the Zero to Ascendant video that we did. I was really worried that that wasn't going to be a thing because I really liked how it turned out and I put a lot of work into it. So expect to see those every single Friday, assuming we, still have some momentum behind them. And also, we might drop off our Wednesday uploads in lieu of actually streaming on Saturday. So again, I just wanted to give you a quick 411. I'll keep you guys updated somewhere, whether it be a pinned comment or some other place. But if you guys really like our stuff, like, comment, that kind of thing, it really does help. Also, do let me know if you have other stuff that we don't know about. I'm running out of things to do on this list, but I really like this series. I think it's a lot of fun. Anyway, with all that out of the way, thank you so much. You guys' support has been fantastic. Bless your faces. Deuces.